So next topic that we have to study is about a journal proper. Journal proper is used for making the original record of such transactions for which no special journal has been kept in the business. Since the entire journal is subdivided into various subsidiary books, the residual journal itself acts like a subsidiary book as a general journal for transactions which cannot be recorded elsewhere. See, like there are some transactions, like we studied about like different books and all we studied, like sales book we studied, cash book we studied, and purchases books are there, returns books like purchases returns, sales returns. So there are so many different type of books we have studied. So in that we have studied like cash book is there. So in that only cash related transactions will be entered into that. And when we make a purchases book, in that only credit purchases are entered into that. Sales book is there, in that only credit sales will be entered. Okay. So there are some kind of transactions which cannot be entered in any of these journal. Okay. So it is just like a miscellaneous book like. Okay. So it is for the transactions which cannot be entered in any other journal. It will be entered in journal proper. Okay. So it is just an like a other book, like others, you know, so like which is not coming in the a particular category. So such type of transactions are there that will be entered in the journal proper. Okay. So usual entries that are put in this journal are explained below. So there are some common transactions which comes in the category of this one, like opening entries. Okay. So like opening stock or opening balances of different accounts are there. So these opening entries, for entering into any of these opening entries, there are no particular journal is not there. So we will be using it with the help of journal proper. Okay. So opening entries are used in the beginning of the financial year to open the books by recording the assets, liabilities and capital appearing in the balance sheet of the previous year. So like when we close every year, we consider like 1 year we will close all the accounts. You know. So then like final value we will be calculating, and next year we will be carrying forward these transactions. You know. So you might have written like you can see that CB, you know, carried forward or carried backward like that, and all it is written there. You know. So that type of transactions are there. So that will be there. So balance brought down or balance carried down like that you are writing. You know. So when an account is there, so when after completing, if what is balance is there, so that will be there. Balance BD you are writing, you know, at the closure. And when it is next year, when it begins, then in the beginning you have to make an entry. Opening entry is there, like a balance carried down CD. You know, so that transactions has to be entered in the journal proper. See, for example, there is a example is given like Mr. Ramnath commenced the business with the following items. Make the opening entries in journal proper as on 1st April 2018. Cash 30,000, stock 15,000, furniture 3,000, sundry creditors 10,000. So these many assets or and liabilities are there. So you can make there is a transaction. How it is made, it is given in the next page. You can see. Is it there in your book? That problem is there, not there. Okay, so you can just listen. See, if whatever may be the transaction, so we will be making it like a cash account debtor. All these are assets are there. Debit side it will come. Cash account debtor, stock account debtor, and furniture account debtor. All these are in the debit side because they are assets. And to sundry creditors. So sundry creditors 10,000 is given. Remaining money is to be for the capital. So it will be sent to the capital. So such a way the starting account will be entered into the journal proper. Did you understand? Then next we have to enter is the closing entries. Some just like the opening, we have to close different accounts. When accounts are closed, then these entries are made. So like if a balance is there, so that whatever may be the balance, that will be transferred to different accounts. So for that purpose, we will be using closing entries. Closing entries are recorded at the end of the accounting year for closing the accounts relating to expenses and revenues. These accounts are closed by transferring the balances to the trading and the profit and loss account. The flow of entries are as follows. So if for trading account, you have studied about trading account, no? How to make trading account, how we studied? Not there. So you have to study it, we will be studying it. So when we make, see like you first you studied journals, you know. So journals you are studying. So journal entries are made. After that it will be transferred to the ledgers. Different ledgers are there. Like see like a cash transactions are there, like cash book one is there. So all the cash related transactions will be entered in the cash book. Then after that we will find out, we will tally it both sides, how much received and how much given, both will be balanced, and some balance will be there. So that closing account will be there. So those things will be going to the trading account. Then after that some items will be entered into the profit and loss account. Okay, so another account is there, trading account is there, profit and loss account is there. After that all the final value will be entering into the balance sheet. Okay, so by balance sheet we can say that by entering the data into the balance sheet only we can understand the whole idea about the business transactions. Like you made a journal entry, so just by looking journal entry you can see if like in your problem when you are getting, say you may get some 10 journal entries will be there, 10 transactions will be given, maximum 15 or 20 transactions will be given in a problem when it is given for you. But do you think that this is the real transactions taking place in a company? No. In a day itself there will be some 300, 400, 500 or 1000 of transactions will be there. So is it, it is, and if you take 1 month, there will be say like 1 lakh transaction will be there, or 10,000 transaction will be there. So all these 10,000 transactions, if you, there will be some 10 books will be there for recording all this. And it is not possible, you have to, if you want to understand what is the financial position of a company, you cannot go through all the pages. So there will be a balanced, this one will be taken as a total, we will take a final account is made as a balance sheet will be made. Okay. So before that we have to make like a trading account, all the transactions will be entered into the trading account. So for that if the balance of trading account is debited, like a trading account debtor to stock, to purchases and direct expenses. So all the transactions which are given, that has to be mentioned in the like that. So this is for transferring the items to the trading account. So when you have to transfer any item to trading account debtor to all the items which are to be transferred there. Okay. And the sales, when you have to transfer sales account debtor to trading account, being amount of sales transferred to trading account. So when you have to transfer the sales account closing value will be there, that has to be transferred to the sales trading account. For that this journal entry will be used. And closing stock, so there will be all the transactions of this one will be there, like a stock purchases book will be there, in that stock transactions will be entered. So at last after completing all that this one, then final stock will be there. So how much balance of stock will be there, that will be transferred to the trading account. Means that is called closing stock. You know, so at the end of the year how much balance is there. So stock, you see, like in the beginning we have opening stock will be there, then all throughout the year we are purchasing stock as well as we are selling. So the amount will be there. Imagine that if you are having some 10,000 rupees opening balance is there, then after that we will some 50,000 rupees we purchase the stock, then we sell it for total 60,000 is there, in that 30,000 we sold. So remaining 30,000 will be there. So that will remain as the closing stock. At the end of the year, how much balance is there? Do you understand? Beginning some will be there, then during the year we are purchasing and selling. Some will purchase and sold, again purchase, again sold. So like that it will be there. At the end of the year some product will be, balance will be there. So that will be coming as the closing stock. And that will be for transferring that into the trading account, closing stock account debtor to trading account. And the balance of this one, so trading account will be there, that will be transferred to the profit and loss account. After preparing the trading account, all the transactions will be entered in the trading account. Then how much balance is coming, that will be transferred to the profit and loss account. So for that, trading account debtor to profit and loss account, another transaction is there. So these are the transactions related to the trading account. Then next transactions are there. You just have to study only these transactions, only for final entries. So these are the entries which is coming in the journal proper. Only this much you have to study. All the transactions, how it is made or how it is coming, all these things you will study later on. Okay. Now you may not be understanding why it is coming like that or how it is there. So when you prepare these different accounts, that only I am telling. So now you don't worry about how it is coming. You just have to say that these transactions are entered in the journal proper. Okay, only this much you have to understand. So how it is coming, that you will understand when you study. You have to study about ledger. You have to study how to prepare trading account. You have to study how to prepare a profit and loss account. So when you study all these things, then only you will come to know that now you studied only journal entries, no? So you studied only journal entries. So these are the journal entry for making this transactions. Only that you have to study now. Okay. So if see, like if a business is starting, we make a you studied about this financial principles you have studied now. Accounting principles, basic accounting principles. What are the basic accounting principles? Many of you have written in the exam very nicely. What are there are 3 basic principles of accounting. There are 3 accounts are there. What are they?
Nominal, personal and real.
They are. Okay, nominal, personal and real account. You never heard of these things? What are the rules?
Real account, debit what comes in, credit what goes out, and nominal account, debit what gains and
Incomes and profit. Okay. So these we have studied, and based on this all the transactions are made. Okay. So there are 3 rules are there, and based on these 3 rules we make all the transactions. Journal entries are prepared like that. See, like imagine that if we are purchasing, so purchased a product. Okay, so if you are purchasing, what comes in? Purchases comes in, and cash goes out if you are paying. So purchases account added to cash. So such a way we make. When we make sales, cash account, cash we receive, so goods we have got. So cash account added to sales. So what comes in and what goes out, or credit the receiver, who is the receiver, who is the giver. Based on that we calculate. So such a way we will be making the transactions. Journal entry first we will be entering. After preparing the journal entries, we will be posting these journal entries into ledgers. So next we have to study about the ledgers. Now see, this is like a before ledger, like a journals are there. In order to enter the trade, this is like a subsidiary books are there. It is just like a gap between the, or we can say it is a bridge between the journal and ledger. Okay. You see, you first step, you stand on first step, then directly you will go to third step. Okay. You will get it. Only you have to understand that these type of entries are entered into the journal proper, means which is not having any particular title. Okay, so these transactions are not having a particular titles, or like a special book is not there for these transactions. So we are entering these transactions into journal proper. Understood? Okay, see, like for preparing profit and loss account added to all indirect expenses and losses, and all gains and incomes added to profit and loss account. Okay, and profit and loss account added to capital. If whatever maybe the profit is there, that will be transferred to this one. So these are the transactions made for which is coming in the category. These are the closing entries, and that will be entered in the journal proper. Only this much you have to study about this one. Then transfer entries are there. Like a transfer entries are passed in the journal proper for transferring an item entered in one account to another account. The proprietor takes goods 5,000 for personal use. Give the entry on 31st March 2018. See, for example, any transfer of goods are there. See, like if owner itself is withdrawing some products, taking like his own shop. So he is withdrawing like some products we have purchased. So if it is like a grocery shop is there, so from the grocery shop the owner he can take himself. So he no need to go to another shop and purchase the things. He has to go to his own shop. He has to show it. But it should be recorded in the transaction book. Otherwise we will see like if 500 kilogram of rice we have brought, and in that 10 kilogram is missing. At the end of this one we will not be able to find out where this is missing. Do you understand? So in order to understand that, we have to enter it into the accounts. So what are the, because see, like we have studied that owner and the company is different, isn't it? Do you study that like that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
There is a ownership is there, a separate entity is there.
Yes,
so separate entity means that see, like if it is my own shop, then also I cannot say that it is my own. So company is another artificial person and I am another person. So from the point of view of a company, I am the investor. I am the capital investor, and the company is there as another person. It is a second person. Okay, so even if it is my own company, I am investing full money, but I am running it, but the company is considered as a second person. So if I am withdrawing it, that also has to be recorded in the transactions. Okay. So for recording that, we will be like a drawing account debtor to purchases. So that transactions will be entered there. Okay. Then there are some rectifying entries. Rectifying entries are passed for rectification of errors which might have been committed in the book of accounts. Like once we have entered, but what we have entered is wrong. Okay, so sometimes there may be some mistakes or errors will be there. So we have to rectify that. We found that there is like a, we had entered some transactions, like 5,000 was supposed to be entered, but instead of that we entered 50,000. You know. So already, so the amount will be more there. So like a 45,000 has gone wrong. So that we have to reduce that. So that rectifying that for such kind of transactions, we call it as a rectifying entries. Okay. So for correcting the mistakes, so we entered it in a wrong. See, like imagine that if we have if a transaction is supposed to be entered into like a sales book, because it is a credit transaction, but we did not understand it and somehow we entered it in a cash book, thinking that this is a cash purchase is there. So if it is like that, so if a cash book is there, how much is the balance of cash book? That much cash balance should be there. You know, so we will calculate the cash book. Total of cash book will be there. So in that, how much money we have received, that much money should be there as cash also. Imagine that when we are conducting like fees collection, so we are sitting there for fees collection. So you are submitting. Some are coming and submitting fees as cash. Some are submitting as like a check. They are submitting. Some are submitting as like a bank transfer. You know. So when what happens if a bank transfer is entered? So if we are entering cash, imagine that if I am sitting in the cash counter, how much cash I have received. So I have to enter. So how much cash is entered, that we are separately entering. After that we have to find the total of that. Then how much total cash is coming, that much cash I have to give also. You know. And if in that if normally some transaction is there in check, so total of check will be there, that much number of check will be there. And bank transfer is there, then on the bank or swiping is done, so that will be recorded in another one. But if the transaction is made in check or swiping, but if I enter that transaction into the cash column, then what happens? Actually that much, it's like 5,000 rupees transaction is made on card, but I entered it in cash. So if total 55,000 rupees is coming in the this one cash column, but I will have only 50,000 because that 5,000 is not paid as cash, it is directly sent as bank transaction. Isn't it? So there will be balance, there will not be balance between the transactions. So then what happens? We have to make this rectifying entry, we have to make for changing this one. So we have to, this 5,000 which we have entered in a cash column, 5,000 has to be reduced there, and 5,000 which we have supposed to be entered in a see, like if a total 25,000 transaction is taken place in the this column, swiping is done, so only 20 will be there according to mine, because 5 is already entered in cash, so that has to be transferred there. So that rectification entry will be made with the help of rectifying entries. See, for example, purchase furniture of rupees 10,000 was debited to purchases account. So like a furniture. So furniture is not supposed to be entered in the purchases account. You know. So purchases, in purchases account, what are the transactions that we are entering? What kind of goods are entered? Purchases book. Credit purchases of what? Goods. Furniture is a good. It is an asset. You know. So it should not be entered in the purchases book. Okay. So purchases, in the purchases book we have to enter only the purchases of goods are entered. Okay. Purchases of assets are not supposed to be entered in the purchases book, but here we have entered it wrongly in the purchases book. So we have to reduce it. So for that purpose, furniture account debtor to purchases. So from there it is already debited in the purchases account. Now we have to credit it so that that balance has to be maintained. Then there are some adjustment entries. Okay, final accounts are prepared at the end of the financial year to know the financial position of a profit and loss account of the business. To ascertain the actual position of various items relating to these, some entries are made before their preparation. These are called adjustment entries. These adjustments entries are recorded in the journal proper. Some of the main adjustment entries are. So some kind of adjustments has to be made before we have to prepare the final accounts. Okay. So that adjustment entries are prepared in this journal proper. Okay. So like a bad debt. Do you know what is a bad debt? The money which we have, we have sold some products and somebody has to give me back the money, but they are not in a financial position to pay us back the money, so we consider it as a bad debt. We will not get this money back. Okay, so we will write off this one. Okay, so in a company when we have like a bad debts are there, so sometimes we receive the money also, like we make it as a bad debt. Like say imagine that I have given some money to Ashman and he is not giving back. And I thought that this fellow will not give back. Some 6 months over, 7 months, 8 months over. After that, I thought that this fellow will not give back this money. So I made it as bad debt. And after that, he is coming and paying it. Okay. Then that bad debt is received. So we made it as a bad debt. We thought that this money is lost. We left this money. Okay. But after that, he is paying it back. Then we have to record it in the transaction. So such kind of any transactions are there. So bad debt account debtor to debtors account. So it will be entered into the debtors account. So that adjustment will be made there. Then depreciation. What is depreciation? Value of the assets are getting decreased. Like imagine that if I purchase a car for 5 lakh rupees and if I use it for 1 year, after 1 year if I want to sell it, if I say that I purchase it for 5 lakh and I am going to sell it for 5 lakh, will anybody purchase it for 5 lakh? Nobody will purchase it. So they will say that you give it for 3 lakh or 4 lakh. So they will reduce the amount of that. So that money every year we are using it. When we use it, we have to calculate the reduction in the value we will be calculating. So that is called the depreciation. So when we purchase an asset, we calculate the depreciation every year. Like in this year with the value 5 lakh, next year it will become 4 lakh, after that it will become 3 lakh, then 2 lakh, then 1 lakh, after that we write off this one. Asset means the expiry. There will be a lifespan of this, every asset has got some lifespan will be there. After that we will consider like a scrap value will be there at last. So we consider that this one, Kabadi wala, we are giving. So that money will be considered as this one. See like car is there, So if it is used, some maximum like car and all is there, can be used for some 15 years now. As per the government regulations, the license is given or the fitness certificate is there. One fitness certificate is required for the car. So that is given for 15 years. So when we complete 15 years, we have to request for a renewal of the fitness. So then when we request for this one, if the car is in working condition, they will renew the fitness and for next 5 years. After that again we have to submit it. Then by the time the fitness and all will be over, then they will not give certificate. After that the car is so we have to sell it in that way. Okay. The next interest on capital. Okay. So if a depreciation of asset is there, then depreciation will be calculated and so if like a 5 lakh rupees is the value of this asset, so we will consider the value of asset as like a car is there. So if building is there, so building if we have, imagine that 5 lakh rupees is the value of a car that we calculate. But next year, at the end, next year when you calculate 1 lakh, we have to reduce, depreciation is there. So now what is, if you show, you cannot show at the end of the year, we cannot show that the car value is of 5 lakh rupees. So we have to reduce the value and show. So for that reducing, we reduce the depreciation. So depreciation account debtor to asset will be there. So then 1 lakh rupees we will reduce depreciation, then the value of asset will become 4 lakh. Next year again another 1 lakh rupees reduction will be there, depreciation will be added, then the value will become 3 lakh. So like that each year it will be calculated. So every asset we will be, and when it becomes like a final last value, then we purchase new asset. So that money we will be using it for purchasing a new asset. So we calculate like that. See, like different products are having lifespan, how much years it will work, that we calculate. Based on that it will be. Then interest on capital. So like if we are interesting company, the money that the owners are giving, so that money we are giving some interest to them. Okay. So it will be deciding, the companies will be deciding how much amount of interest has to be paid to the capital. So that will be calculated, and for entering that interest on capital account to capital. So that money will be added in the this one capital account. So that has to be shown there. And interest on drawings. So what is drawings? Money withdrawn from the by the owner. Okay, so if I have invested 10 lakh rupees into the a company and I am in need of money, now I need some 2 lakh rupees required, so I can take a loan from the company, and in order to, because I have already invested this money and I will withdraw this money. So some 2 lakh I will withdraw, but I have to pay interest for the the money withdrawn. So the interest will not be like a bank loan money, that much interest, and some 5%, 6%, very low percentage interest will be. Okay, these companies will be decided. So that interest on drawings will be calculated. Drawings account added to interest on drawings. Okay. Then there are some outstanding expenses. If any expenses which are not entered, adjustment entries are also recorded in the journal proper relating to outstanding expenses. The expenses which have become due but not paid. The expenses relating to them are made under expenses account added to outstanding expenses. Okay. And if any prepaid expenses, like outstanding expenses means that like a current bill is there. Okay, so 10th of like today is 15th, you know. So this month the 10th is the date for paying the current bill, but we have not paid till now. Okay, that is outstanding expense. Means it is already due, but we have not paid. By 10th we have to pay, but now it is 15th. Till now we have not paid. So that is why that is called outstanding expenses. And prepaid expense means that is like a paid early, you know. So we have to pay it maybe by 20th, but we paid it now itself, earlier itself. So if prepaid expenses are there, that will be shown. Prepaid expenses accounted to expenses. Then there are some miscellaneous entries, whichever is not in this any of these categories, like such entries which can be made in any of the subsidiary books are also entered in the journal proper. Out of these, some importance are there. So like assets purchased on credit, there are also recorded in the journal proper. So if assets purchased means like a furniture account or assets account are there, then in that we can enter either, or we can enter into the journal proper. So assets account to suppliers if it is made on credit. Then goods taken away by the proprietor for personal use. So if goods are taken from, already we have studied that, no? Drawings account to purchases. Transfer entries are there. So that will be same. Drawings account to purchases. If the owner is taking any product, then that will be there. Then next one, entry relating to dishonor of bills. If the bills we have, like bills which we are supposed to pay, if it is dishonored, like imagine that, like when we are making a purchase or a sale, then we give bills receivable to the bank. But if in our bank account, if money is not there, just like check, this the bounce checks are there, almost like that. See like if we are supposed to pay the money to the company, and instead of paying money, we don't have money at that time, so we give bills. So this bill is given to them, the owner. Then they can submit this bill in the bank and they can get the money. But sometimes when they submit the this one in the bank, if in the bank also no money is there, then that will be dishonored. Is considered as a dishonored bills. So if such kind of transactions is there, then in the book of drawee account added to bills receivable, and in the books of drawee bills payable account added to drawer. Two transactions are made on that. Then distributing of goods as a charity or as a free samples, or any distribution is made, say like some free sample is given, or any for charity purpose, if we have given any goods, that will be made as a charity account to purchases. Then next one, loss of fire or theft. If the products are lost, then we make a loss by fire account to purchases account, or loss by theft account to purchases. All these transactions are made. So these kinds of transactions are made in the journal proper. So journal proper is a book which is used for all these miscellaneous transactions, or transactions which cannot be entered in other books. Okay. So there is also one more just one topic is there. Like a basic documents for subsidiary books. What are the documents that we use for subsidiary books? Okay. So like there are some documents we have already studied when we studied about different type of things like. So first one is called the inward invoice. Okay. So when we purchase any products, we can receive a bill. So that is called as a inward invoice. This is the document sent by the supplier of goods, giving details of the goods sent, price, value, discount, etc. It is the basis of entries in the purchases book. So when we make a purchase, they are sending an invoice. So that invoice is bill like. So when you make a purchase from that shop, what are the products that we have purchased, how much quantity is purchased, what is the rate of the product, all this invoice we are getting. So that is called as an inward invoice. And when we are selling a product, then we give an invoice to the customer. Okay, so if we are selling a product, we will give a bill to the customer. So just that is called as an outward invoice. This document sent by the firm to the customers, showing the details of goods supplied. So whatever goods we are selling, in that, say like 10 products of this particular quality is sent, and this 450 rupees is the price for this one. So all these details will be written in that and sending. Then debit note and credit note, already we have studied very fully about that. See, like when we return the book, return the products, when we make a purchases returns or a sales returns, when we make purchases returns, we give a debit note, and when we make a sales return, we give a credit note. Then cash receipts and vouchers. So like when we make if all these four of these transactions are made for credit transactions, and if a cash transaction is made, then we make a cash receipt. Like when you are going into the shop, you purchase a product, you pay the money, they will give a bill. That is called the cash receipt. So other like inward invoice or outward invoice, all these are made for credit transactions. Okay, and returns are made, then a debit note and credit note is made when purchases returns and sales returns take place. These are the vouchers and receipts for cash received and paid. Entries in cash book are made on the strength of the vouchers and receipts. They are also useful for auditing purposes. So if all the cash transactions, whenever a company is making any cash transactions, then we have to show cash receipts or vouchers have to be entered. If we are purchasing any product, any goods and all are entered, then we have to show, bill has to be shown. And if any small products are there, like some small stationery items purchased or some type of things which we cannot, like official bill and all. If you go to and purchase one pen, then if you ask a bill for that, then you may not get the bill. So such type of products are there, for that they will enter in vouchers. Okay. Then next we have to one more topic is there, advantages of subsidiary books. So there are, it can be like a division of work. It is divided into, subsidiary book is divided into small different categories. So it will be divided. Then a specialization and efficiency. So when we are dealing like a purchases book means only related to the purchases we are entering. So it can be used for a specialization. Okay. And facilitate posting. We can post it to the different accounts, like when we make a ledger, it will become easier. The time saving. So it's a similar type of items are entered in this one, so it will be easy to find out. So like all the credit purchases are there, we can just looking into the purchases book, we can understand all the credit purchases which are made. So it is very much easy and time consuming. Then minimizing frauds and errors. Like there are chances of mistakes if we are like all the transactions, if we are mixing up here and there and writing, there will be chance of errors. And cheating also may be done, like if we may not be knowing that those who have taken the money and not paid the money. So, but all credit transactions are entered, then easily understand whether we have received the money or not. Or cash transactions are entered in another one, so you can easily understand it. Then easy reference. So already this is there, so it is differently, it is separately given there, so we can easily understand these things. And better information, more details are clearly specified there. How many products are purchased, how much number of, how what is the price of this one. All details are mentioned in that one, so we can understand that. And management decisions facilitated. So when the company managers wants to take decisions, they can make decisions based on this one. So that is all about this chapter. Okay, thank you so much.